We are here live at CEDIA 2015 with Amy Madden from Draper. How are you?
I'm good.
Good show?
Excellent show.
Good.
Excellent show. Actually, Bob Mathis, who's our AV market manager, was here Wednesday, and he said that he thought it was the best first day of the show that he had attended across any of our markets in 7 to 8 years.
Wow.
It's a pretty profound statement.
Yeah,
I think
it is.
we were all pleasantly surprised.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you guys have a couple things. Some of them are new, some of them are not so new.
Correct.
One is Tech Vision.
Yes.
Still going strong with that.
Absolutely.
If someone has never heard of or seen Tech Vision, explain to them what it is.
Okay, so normal projection screen material is typically made in bulk. Our stuff is, most of the manufacturers are. Now they may be made to our specifications, but they're made in 500-yard rolls. So it's hard to really take care of all of the quality metrics that go into a 500-yard roll of fabric. So 3 years ago, Draper invested several $1 million to start making our own fabric, and we called that line Tech Vision. What that allows us to do is actually control everything that goes into the screen. So the process of creating the game, the process of the contrast, the tint, the gloss, everything. So we're able to give you a picture that is uniform and brilliant and really the highest quality that you're going to see out there.
And it's the one thing is it's interesting if you've ever been to the Draper factory, it's a patented process.
It is, absolutely.
And it's super secret. And it's there's an area over there, you can't go there.
Yeah, sorry.
But that's what we do that.
That is correct. That is correct. It's kind of fun. I will be the first to say that I know that screens aren't super exciting, but this has been something that's fun for us. We've been in business for 115 years, give or take. And for us to still have innovation like that is pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Other thing you got is the Aerolift.
Yes.
Projector lift,
right.
Obviously.
Projector lifts.
Tell me about that and how that works.
Okay. Well, when it comes to projector lifts, we actually have the broadest range of product over any manufacturer in the market. A lot of our competitors may have one or two models, but we've got the whole gamut of product. So the Aerolift was specifically designed for the residential market. It'll fit within 16-inch floor joists, and it's only 4 inches tall.
Wow.
Now that's before you add the projector, but still it's meant for small spaces. So to correspond with that, we actually introduced the Access Fit product. It was one of the CEDIA Award finalists this year. And it is the smallest recessed electric screen on the market. So between the Aerolift and the Access Fit, you can now put recessed technology where you couldn't before, say a basement space, for example.
So like up in the ceiling where the overhead will be smaller because
absolutely, yeah, and you press a button and your technology is hidden and your room is no longer, surrounded with AV products. But when you press a button, everything comes down, and all of a sudden you've got the wow factor that you want all your friends to see.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool. Something else that I learned in the last 6 months or a year about you guys is you have shades.
We do. And
not that shades aren't great, but shades are important, especially when you're talking about residential.
Right.
Not so much in the commercial. There are different. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
So residential and commercial, when it comes to shades, it's one of those weird little demarcation lines. Like you can talk about shades all day long with AV folks, with folks like Draper, and say, with your residential clients. And then you get into the commercial world, and like architects
they freak out.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
They're scared of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's because everything's custom when it comes to shades.
Yeah.
Whether it's measuring to get the right size, or the fabric choice because we're worried about color, or the amount of light let in. People are very intimidated in the pro AV commercial world by window shades, where in the residence, I think we're used to dealing with more custom, and so they're a little more willing to absorb all the proper information to make that happen. Yeah, but it is ironic because we actually started in shades and then got into screens, but people know us more for screens than they do for shades. So that's part of my job, obviously, is to make people more aware that we have that product line. We're one of the few manufacturers that not only does interior products, but we also have a whole line of exterior product.
How does that work?
Well, the sooner you stop the light from coming into the house, the better off you are from a heat perspective. So, down here in Dallas where it's been 100 degrees all week, if you have exterior shades, you're stopping that heat before it even comes in.
Oh.
So there's a benefit to exterior product. we also have product that can serve not only as a shade, but as an insect screen. Our Flex Shade Zip was one of the CEDIA Award products this year as well, and that's exactly what that's for. Literally, you can go from wall to wall, ceiling to floor, block out your evening sun, but also make it bug proof. So there's lots of cool stuff out there, but I think it can be a little overwhelming for people.
Yeah. How do they do? I mean, so if you have an integrator who has a client and they want to do shades, how do they start that process? Is it one of those things where they contact you first and get the information and say, okay, here's your options, and go back to the client, and there's a little back and forth because you need measurements, you need where they want it and all that?
There is definitely a little more back and forth, I think, because there are a lot of questions to ask. How do they want it installed? Do you want motorized or manual? What's the purpose of the shade? Is it to completely block out the light because it's a dedicated theater? Or are we just filtering the light because we still want to be able to see our $1 million view? There are lots of things to consider, and many times a dealer will come to me with a basic set of information, and then I'll filter back to them and say, okay, this is a great start, but here's some more information that I need. So there's definitely more of a dialogue involved in there, so there's a certain level of trust that we have to create with each other.
Very good. If somebody wants information about that, or the TechVision, or anything else that you guys sell, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, our website is draperinc and we actually have a dedicated portion to the residential market on our website, but of course all of the pro products are there as well.
Very good. Amy Madden from Draper Inc.